It's pull day. Pull day, and we're in sunny Barnsley. Just finished my morning work. I clocked that there was a Starbucks 10 minutes from Muscle Unit, and I had a few free drinks. So I did a chunk of work at home this morning. Some epic fucking guys are smoking it right now as well, which I imagine most coaches say when they're doing like vlogs and shit, but they are. I feel like everyone's been going through a bit of a, it's like being that sort of like either going through like a reverse diet or a gaining phase, and people that seem to get as excited, I feel like a lot of the guys I coach get excited by doing the fat loss phase at the minute. So I've got like 4 or 5 guys right now that check in on a Monday out of, you know, I do about 10 check-ins a day, Monday to Thursday, bit more on a couple of days. And yeah, there's a few guys that check in on a Monday at the minute that are just super motivated, super gassed up, and they're just ticking the fucking boxes. It just makes me so much, it just makes me enjoy my job so much more. And like a big part of what you do as a coach is like supporting guys, providing support and all that side of things, and accountability, and you know, giving that, helping people when they're feeling like not like they're losing the way a little bit or struggling with motivation if things have happened. But to be honest, the guys that I love coaching the most, it's when they're already motivated, they're already fucking gassed up to do it. They just want to work with someone who's fucking just as gassed up as them, that knows a bit more than them, and essentially has the tools to be able to get them where they want to go to that next level. And that's basically the guys that I just love working with the most. Don't get me wrong, I still like helping guys through shit, but it's way more fun just helping guys fucking win. Do this, okay, they do it, they get a sick result, fuck me, it works, mint. Most noticeably, I won't spam loads of this, but like Jack this morning, Jack Smith, he's we started a cut a while ago and we finished it really, but he's got a holiday in September. We thought we may as well do a bit of a photo shoot, but probably going to get him on a YouTube video at some point, and yeah, get some professional pics done because he's looking bananas. He's just a box sticker, fucking great guy to work with. He actually worked with me in 2024 for a year when he first wanted to get to grips with like weight training in the gym, and you know, trained for years, but like he didn't really know what he was doing. But now it's like taking shit to the next level. It's exciting. So there's him right now. There's Matt Fell, who's in his late 40s, who did a photo shoot last year, who's going to do one again this year and push it to a new level. There's Jason, who fucking doesn't help himself, works like a million shifts a week, night shifts and all sorts, so he's always a bit fucked. But he's still making progress. He's getting like, you know, so there's a mixture, right? Some guys are like ticking boxes 100% perfect. Some guys are just like aiming for progress over perfection, and that's alright too sometimes. It's just about, you know, if you are struggling with like being motivated or being consistent. I once heard this quote, and I don't know who the fuck said it. It might be Mark Bell, maybe. And it was, get into motion first, the motivation comes after getting into motion. And what I mean by that is, if you're feeling unmotivated, I know it sounds a bit backwards, it almost like it feels a bit weird, but and you're hunting for that feeling of being motivated, honestly, I think if you string together even just a few days of being on top of your shit 100%, ideally a few weeks, because that makes up for like crazy weekends and shit. If you can get a few weeks of being like 100% on it, you'll notice how much better you feel. Part of that's just like the physiological benefits of just like eating well, being hydrated, sleep quality being better, feeling progressions in the gym. Part of that'll be like the mental thing of being like, do you know what, I can do this? And you feel good for like, you've basically made a promise to yourself that you're going to do something, and to whoever you speak to. And the fact that you actually carry out that promise, as humans we value that sort of consistency in doing what we say we're going to do. We value that massively in other people, we also value it massively in ourselves. So that can actually be one of the benefits of, you know, and people get like more confidence from doing a process like getting in shape, pushing the physique, building muscle, dropping body fat. A lot of the confidence that people feel and the feel good factor isn't just from the outcome. It's from fucking sticking to the shit you said you were going to stick to and just like being the type of guy you want to be. And I've definitely seen that more in guys recently that were like struggling in the past mentally from like struggling to get on top of shit. So it's good. Positive snowball effect. Anyway, as you can tell, I'm caffeinated. I went in, I didn't have any caffeine this morning when I was at home. Got a few check-ins boxed off there, and I got to Starbucks in Barnsley for about... I started work at home about 7:20, but I got to Starbucks in Barnsley for 11 o'clock, and I've done like an hour and I've done about 2 hours there, to be fair. I had a call for like 40 minutes with one of my clients, who's smirking it as well, Fred Garside, fucking geezer. He's just like... He's 8 weeks into like a bit of a gaining phase. I say gaining phase, he just wants to stay consistent for life, but he wants to build some muscle at first. His body's changing so fucking fast, man. And he was going to just like wing it himself, like he has done in the past. He thought, fuck it, he'll get some help this time. And his body's just changing rapid. But anyways, yeah, got to Starbucks. I had a small Americano there at first, which is a double shot coffee. It's probably like 100 to 150 milligrams of caffeine. Then I'm having a medium coffee, which is like a double shot and then a single shot. So that's like anywhere from 150 to 225 milligrams of caffeine. So a decent amount of caffeine, but nothing crazy. And as you may or may not know, driving to TMU, the Muscle Unit Gym in Barnsley right now, which I've mentioned already, but I train here every Monday and every Wednesday. So that's pull and leg day, and I usually train with our Tom, so my brother, on a Monday and a Wednesday. But he is on holiday at the minute, so it's just me. And I figured today, I've not vlogged here yet, so I messaged Rob, the owner, last night, who's really good mates with our Tom. And I said, is it okay if I don't want to presume, is it okay if I vlog at the gym? And he's just sound as fuck. He was basically just like something along the lines of my gym's your gym. That's not the exact words, so don't take that as the exact words. It was something along the lines of that. Such a fucking good guy. So I think that's something as well, like people take, because of like the world of tripods we live in with gyms at the minute, which I don't think is a bad thing, by the way, but just like anything, the devil's in the dose. I think with like smaller independent gyms, like, you know, if it's not a JD, it's not a big gym, and it's not a done, and you don't know if it's a done thing there or not, or even if you're just unsure, like ask the owner, because if you are recording in the gym where they don't actually want you to do it and they feel like it's fucking with the atmosphere, like having too many tripods out, whatever, you're better off respecting that. It's only gonna come back around to you in a negative way in the future if you don't do that. So I messaged him anyway. He said, yep, absolutely sound. So got my camera today, got my mic obviously, but I've forgotten my fucking tripod. So I'm fuming. But I'm gonna try and still get some content in there. We'll see how many exercises I can get done. I'm gonna just, because it's got like a rectangular base of these Pocket Osmos, I'm gonna try and just like plonk it somewhere where I can. I might not be able to get biceps at the beginning, but I reckon I'll be able to get at least a couple back exercises. The angles might be a bit shit, I might not get much, but worst case scenario, you got me driving to the gym, talking garbage, and maybe a bit of wisdom as well, eh? Something that we're going to definitely be doing today. So we've got back, obviously. Start with biceps. Arms are a weak body part. Everything's a weak body part, really. I'm like only like 192 pounds. I'm 6 foot tall. Car's just stalled. Only £192, 6 foot tall, so everything's a weak body part really. But arms is something definitely want to bring up. So we start pull with some biceps. We also start legs with some biceps. We train triceps at the end of push day like normal, but then we also start as upper body, like as full body session that we do on a Friday. We start that with like triceps and biceps, so they get a good spanking. So we're bringing them bad boys up their start, and then we've got some pretty nice pieces of kit here at Rob's gym. Some really nice pieces actually. Got some Panatta stuff, which we'll start with. Then we've got some. It's called Eagle. Can't remember the name of the brand, but it's like the Eagle row. Do that single arm. Then we've got some other crazy shit, but it's all good stuff. And hopefully I'll be able to show you some of it today if I can prop me camera up somehow. And what we're going to do is something me and Tom have been doing every time we come here. At Unit Saddleworth I typically walk on the treadmill for 5 minutes, 10 minutes max. But when I train here with Tom, we've got in the habit of just walking round the estate that the gym's on. So I'm going to do that first because we like the routine. And that's another cue, guys. If you're someone that if you sit down for work like I do, your body's going to thank you for getting in a decent amount of movement, especially pre-workout when you get to the gym. If you've been sat down all morning, all day, your hips will be tight, your lower back's going to be tight, your body's not going to feel great to then start going in and slinging tin. So I definitely recommend going for a walk. It's a very human thing you can do, as in like it's very natural movement. It's going to warm up your lower back, open up your hips a little bit. Gives you opportunity to get your head in the game as well before you get under some weights. And yeah, I also recommend if you are someone that's like extra stiff in the lower back, what have you, doing some planks, side planks, things like that before you get started too can help relieve a bit of discomfort and just make you feel a little bit more protected. So I definitely recommend doing some stuff like that. For me, I'm just going to do the walk today though. We don't really load up the lower back on this particular session. Not like we do later in the week with RDLs or anything, so yeah man. Right, I'll see you in there. Right boys, definitely not the best angle you're ever going to see. Got this massive piece of metal in the way, but because I ain't got my tripod, we're just putting this bad boy wherever I can balance it. Without getting smashed up by someone. So, preacher curls. We can do 2 to 3 working sets here, aiming for at least 15 reps on his first work set. Reason being, we've just been finding we're getting a better connection like that. And my brother, anecdotally, obviously we've got the same genetics. He's found over the last year or two when he's been doing arms in the higher rep ranges, he feels like he's been getting better progress from it. So why would I mess about? We're going to have pretty identical genetics on that front, so I'm doing the exact same thing. Also, you'll notice I'm not going all the way down on this. I was getting a bit of bicep tendonitis doing that. If I just stick to where I feel the tension on, which is like mainly the top half on this, which is kind of the focus of this exercise anyway, I don't get any bicep tendon issues. And then when I do things like the incline curls or the cables behind you, then I'll let myself do a bit more of a stretch and extend that elbow a little bit more as well there, but not on this one. Right, see how I get on. Right, so we've got 20 reps there, I think. We've been only getting around 15 to 17 reps on this usually. Got 20 reps there and I reckon I had more in the tank, so For me, that's a green light to add a little bit of weight. As long as we get at least 10, we know we're not taking the piss too much. So 2 more sets, I reckon, and then we'll go from there. Just 10 reps there, just. Should have probably dropped it a little bit on that last set, but we stuck to the rule of keeping it 10 plus. You know, like 20, then 12, 13, then 10, so that'll do, pig. Set number 1. It's what is this one called? The Panatta High Row. So it's kind of getting a bit of everything, but lats, bit of upper back, bit of rear delts, bit of everything. But I was really trying hard the first few times I used this to try and like fight against the machine, like trying to isolate my lats and bring my elbow in really close to my side and stuff. And you know, I think you've got to be aware of, like, you know, trying to contract your lats, trying to contract your back, but you know, this piece of kit comes down and out a little bit. Just sort of fucking, just don't overthink it too much. Just don't do anything too funky, and just get strong over time. But yeah, no, that felt good. 1 more set of that weight. Trying to aim for at least 10 reps on all my compounds, at least for the first set. If I get like 8 or something on the back off, like not back off set, on like a second set, I'm fine with that. But yeah, happy with that. It's probably the best that's felt, most controlled. Definitely don't look as slow as some of the, if anyone used to watch my vlogs from a few years ago when I did like, when I was trying to get jackered. I was doing everything like 3-second negatives, pause in either end. I spoke about this recently on social media, I made a reel about it. Probably one of the biggest mistakes I made. I mean, it did me favours when I transitioned over from powerlifting to bodybuilding at first. You know, going from like lifting as heavy weights, kind of like barbell lifts, to slowing things down and using more isolation exercises. Like the body definitely rated the break from the heavy stuff, and you know, a bit of a new stimulus. It was easy to recover and get better from at first, but after a bit there's certain movements that just, you try and do that super slow shit, it's become really hard to progress. And the key focus should be trying to get stronger over time, mainly on like your bigger movements, but just thinking when you're doing the exercise, control. After you've done the exercise, do you feel like a good pump in the muscles you're working, especially if you're in a gaining phase, you're getting the food for a pump there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And you should organically just get stronger over time as well. And this is where I had to go to my iPhone. Fuck's sake. Fully prepped my Pocket Osmo fancy camera on the weekend, made sure everything was deleted off it, all the storage space. And for some reason, it just said storage full. So I'm going to have to go back to the drawing board on that. But anyways, here went into single arm pull down. So I did 2 sets of 2 arm, where I kind of felt it everywhere, as I discussed. And then 2 sets of single arm, where I did feel a bit more in the lats. But it is very much like a bit more of like a send it sort of thing. Something I noticed on my posing shots, which we'll see at the end of the video, and then also when I'm doing the exercise, watching it back now, is my right lat definitely pops out a bit more. I've definitely got better flexibility in that right shoulder altogether. So any of you guys that are struggling with the same thing, just know it's normal to have imbalances left to right. I've had guys proper fret about it in the past, and it's not a big deal. You can have them. You can have them. Okay, so after that, went on to another single arm piece, so more targeting the lats again. So everything we've hit so far is hitting the lats, but that last one and this one specifically is definitely hitting him. And we're starting with his right side, which you can kind of do this 2 ways. You can either go at right side, and then whatever you don't get full reps with your left, you just keep doing force reps or rest pause in order to match it up. Or you start with your weak side, which is what I usually do, but today I was fancying just right side first and just see how we got on. So as you can see here, once again, I'm going on feel. I'm not going on a particular speed of rep. I'm not going for a particular tempo. So these aren't necessarily really slow or anything. All I'm thinking of doing is driving my elbow down into my hip, down into the, almost like there's a bullseye in the centre of my coccyx, like centre of my bottom of my back, and just driving the elbow in low and deep. I'm trying to get a bit of a stretch. I always notice this left side, I don't get quite as much of a stretch as my right, even if it feels like I do. But yeah, look, I was doing some partials in there as well. That's something I've been doing. Here we go, chest supported piece. This is a bit of like upper back. It's a bit of a messy set, this. This is my first set. All the other exercises on my phone now are recorded, and even on the Osmo I was recording my second set. This is a bit messy, but I still managed to hit my full back and my upper back like I wanted to. So that's always good. Here you can see me adjusting with it because it didn't quite feel as good as I wanted it to. Here we're going to more of an upper back piece again. So this, the reason why you know it's upper back, well, it hits the entire back, right? Like I'm a firm believer that everything you hit's going to hit a bit of everything. This goes wider as you pull up, which forces you to hit that upper back a bit more because it drives your elbows out rather than in. I tried fighting against that the first time I used it and it just felt like shit. And then this one, bit more lats on this because you can just drive it down towards the hip. You see how I've positioned the foot paddle like really high up to mean so I drive it into my hip more. This feels great. But something I was going to say is on a lot of these movements, I've started, rather than grinding reps out, as soon as I can't do full reps, I'll just allow myself to do partials. And I feel like my forearms, my elbows and stuff are less beat up. And that was off advice from my brother. See, it's problems that you might not run into yet because you're not quite as heavily muscled or as big and strong, that you might run into as you get bigger and stronger. Like me grinding out reps at like 180, 190 pounds probably isn't an issue, but it's preventing things from being an issue, 20 pounds from now, what have you, or however big I get. Here we have the cable curls. So I'm getting a bit more of a stretch on these. As you can see, I'm more straightening my arms than I do on the preacher curl because we're emphasising that stretch. Did 3 sets of them. I did basically 2 sets of everything, apart from biceps where I just did 3 sets because it's a smaller muscle. And then on this, I did 2 sets, but second was a drop set. So what you may notice here is I'm not actually coming that... These just look really messy, right? But they actually feel awesome. And what I'm thinking of doing is raising my arms up in like a Y shape. And I was thinking of reaching out rather than back. And then just to finish, even though we do some RDLs at the back end of the week, we don't do that much. We only do like one or two working sets in RDLs. So I wanted to make sure I hit that lower back here. So even though this here will hit your glutes, your hamstrings and your lower back, I'm really trying to overarch at the top. And then what I found was holding the plate on your chest meant you loaded your lower back more, and then putting your arms behind your head seemed to help me keep it on the lower back as well. So I'm like really arching up. The pump I got on my lower back and my glutes and everything off this is fucking nuts, especially my lower back, the way I'm doing it, arching up. I did 2 sets of that. And then moved on to calves. So although it might not look like it, your boy trains his calves every time he's in the gym. Sometimes I do it at the start, sometimes I do it at the end. I did 5 sets today, 5 work sets, yes. I do believe when you've got really small, weak muscles, you can probably test the volume a bit more, which is something I definitely didn't do in the past. So I'm doing like 4 or 5 sets of calves every time I'm in the gym. That's 4 times a week. And if you add it up, it's not actually that much volume. It's like 16 to 20 sets of calves a week, which isn't that crazy for such a small, weak body part. Just sounds a lot, you know. And there we go, that's the full session. Right, let's see. The old rig is saying. Right, I don't know if you can tell there, but storage went on the old Pocket Osmo. Even though I deleted everything yesterday, like I prepped it, deleted everything, full 100% charge, I thought, yeah, buzzing. So I need to go back to the drawing board on that one. But yeah, that's where it rigs at. Fucking mirrors everywhere in this joint. Quite pleased where we're at, but I'll see you in car. Hopefully battery or the storage, sorry, doesn't go on my phone as well. Right guys, tasty session that. Happy. Happy. Unfortunately, I am sorry that I couldn't do the full thing how I wanted to with the proper camera. So I'm gonna have to sort that out, remedy that bad boy for future videos, but hopefully still get something from it. Post-workout, 125 Rice Krispies. Sometimes we do Rice Krispies or cream of rice, 40 whey, vanilla ice cream flavour. All we're going to do is just bang some water in there. Remember, you don't need milk with your whey because whey is essentially powdered milk, so it tastes good. And then we've got 200 grams of mixed berries, which we're going to bang in that sucker as well, mainly strawberries. So it's going to be delicious. And we've got a bit of salt in there as well. Forgot to bang in cinnamon. Whew. But yeah, good session. Body feels good. We're improving. We're definitely improving. And that lighting's super forgiving in that gym. Makes you look leaner than what you are. I feel like I look shredded on them videos training, but I'm not as lean as it's making me look, guys. I think a little hack that you can use if you're getting a bit bored of the current process you're in, and like if you're building muscle naturally as well, which obviously right now I'm not, but if you are building muscle naturally, even if you're not building muscle naturally, you're just in a gaining phase or in a fat loss phase, you're just in the process, right? There's a lot of value of training at different gyms here and there. I think mentally it can like sort of refresh it for you, especially if you're used to seeing the same faces, same conversations. Different gym with some different kit, even if it's just once a month or once a week or whatever. It doesn't have to be every session. Like I come over here twice a week. It can just make all the difference to how you feel about your training. Like I really love the novelty of coming over here now. It took me a bit of time to do it because I didn't want to get out my own routine. I didn't want to add on the extra travel time. But like now I'm here, I'm having absolutely great sessions. The kit's awesome. I'm getting more comfortable here. Getting more comfortable with the different members that I see. It's just good vibes. It's just fucking good. And it's good as well because I'm around people that are in that next step ahead of me. Like obviously right now I'm just developing my physique and building some muscle, but in there today there was at least 2 if not 3 people that all compete in bodybuilding and physique sports. Well, bodybuilding is a physique sport, if you want to call it a sport or a beauty pageant, whatever you want to fucking call it. But it's really good to be around that, rather than being somewhere where you feel like you're probably the person that takes it the most seriously. Not saying that necessarily is me when I'm at like Saddleworth Gym or whatever, not saying that, but definitely good to, you know, just be in that different atmosphere anyways. Definitely believe that. And it's the same when you're doing like different sports, right? Like when I was younger, I played rugby at one club when I was a teenager, and I did like 3 years there. And there was one team in my area that was like way better at a higher standard than everyone else, and I was getting nudged to go. I didn't want to go, to be out of my comfort zone and stuff, and I finally went, and in that year I made more progress than in my rugby than what I made in the last 3 years combined. I made that in like the first probably 6 weeks of being there, just from like a mentality perspective, everything. I think the same applies to everything you do, but yeah. Good session. Bodyweight this morning, £192. I was doing 2 a week check-ins this week. I have just done 1 on the Friday just been. May as well bang up pictures from this Friday. Sitting at 192 this morning. I think I've just said that. But yeah, really enjoyed today. Really enjoyed today as a whole, my routine. Living the dream, really. Living the fucking dream. Got to remind myself that. Definitely living the dream. Not a bad gig, eh? Right, guys. I'll see you in the next one. If you like the video, like it, please. Let's see what next week, what the next video's got in store. See you there.